I think he's a lot better than him on the feet. I think Duplessis is going to be reckless. He's going to end up getting caught, and I think it's early. I think Adesanya knocks him out in the first round. He's probably one of the best knees in the game. What's up, boys? Back with another video. This week we got UFC 305, Duplessis versus Adesanya. It's been building for 2 years. There's some other good fights on the card. Looking forward to it. Let's get into it. First fight up, Stewart Nicoll versus Jesus Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar he has pretty good intensity. He's really good at scrambling. He has takedowns of his own. He's pretty good ground game. But he does get exposed by people who have better wrestling than him. And I feel like Stewart Nicoll has better wrestling than him. I think that he's too relentless. He's going to be pushing the pace on him, working in takedowns. He usually likes working in takedowns, posturing up and ground and pound, and that's how he gets his finishes. He's only 8-0. He's debuting in the UFC. This is going to be his biggest test yet, so you can't put too much confidence in it, but Nicoll looks like he's promising. He looks exciting. He looks like he has the finishing ability. I can definitely see him finishing Aguilar, but I feel like he's tough enough to survive, so I'm going to be picking Nicoll by decision, low-medium confidence. Next fight up, Kenan Song versus Ricky Glenn. I feel like this is just a cut and dry Song win, probably by knockout, just because Ricky Glenn is just so slow. He's so deteriorated. He's 35 years old. They're both the same age, but his 35 is a lot worse than Song's. I feel like he's just too slow. His chin is gone. I'd say this is probably going to be his retirement fight after Song beats him. I don't really see how Song really loses. He's not as trustable as you'd want him to be, and I feel like that's the only reason the odds are what they are. Like, he's like minus 200 something. What is it? Minus 230. Minus 230 I feel like is pretty good odds on a Song, just because Glenn is just that bad, and Song is a decent guy. He's only lost to Kevin Giuseppe, a prospect. Gary, that's not the worst of loss, and he dropped him in that fight. And Max Griffin is a tried and true vet. Bedoya, he has knockout power too. Not like some crazy one punch, but I think he's gonna be faster than Glenn. He's gonna be bigger than him. He's gonna be more experienced, and he's just gonna be better on the feet. And I think that he's gonna end up finding the knockout. I think he's gonna knock him out in the first round. So give me Song by knockout in the first round, medium confidence. Next fight up, Tom Nolan versus Alex Reyes. Alex Reyes, he hasn't fought much in the past couple of years, 6 years ago and then 10 months ago. So he hasn't fought for almost a year. Got knocked out by Mike Perry almost 7 years ago now. I think he's too inactive, but he has okay hands. I think Tom Nolan is too explosive. The odds are ridiculous. It's like minus 1100 right here. I think on DraftKings it's minus 1200. That's way too high for somebody who's pretty chinny. He got knocked out by Mata, got dropped by Victor. I'd say that he is a lot better than Reyes though. He's more of a flashy guy, so he looks a lot better than he is probably. But the strikes are there, the speed is there, the technique is there. I think Tom Nolan definitely knocks him out. But I wouldn't be crazy surprised if he got knocked out by Reyes, because Reyes, I mean, I don't even know. 37 years old, just got knocked out twice in his last 2 fights, and he has only fought 2 times in the past 7 years. So it's pretty bad looks. Tom Nolan, up and comer. The odds are way too much, but Tom Nolan by knockout. I don't really see this fight going outside of the second round. I think it's going to be in the first round, though. Tom Nolan by first round knockout. I'm honestly a lot more confident in the finish than Tom Nolan, but Tom Nolan, medium confidence, knockout in the first round. Next fight up, Casey O'Neill versus Luana Santos. Initially, I was on Santos, but I think I kind of talked myself into picking O'Neill just because Santos is a little bit more wild. She's a bit more looping on her punches. She ends up gassing out. She fought against Stephanie Egger. She missed weight, and this was at 135. This fight's at 125. She missed weight by 4 pounds, weighed in at 139, I believe. So missing weight at 135. Now it's 125. She ended up making weight in her last fight, 125, a month ago. I believe this is short notice, but she did have a fight 1 month ago. Casey O'Neill Kind of had a disappointing fight against Jennifer Maia, but held in there with her and then got submitted by Ariana Lipski. Ariana Lipski has the intensity. She's been looking a lot better, so I wouldn't say that's the worst of losses. And Luana Santos hasn't proven to be like a Lipski. I feel like O'Neal can work in takedowns. She has the output, which I really like, and she has a gas tank. So I feel like that the gas tank and output is going to put Santos in tricky spots. And I feel like the takedowns are going to be a lot easier in the second and third round for O'Neal. So I'm going to be picking O'Neal by decision, low confidence. Next fight up, Josh Culibao versus Ricardo Ramos. Honestly, there's just a pretty cut and dry path for Ricardo Ramos. It's just whether or not he's going to get submitted or not. Culibao has sneaky submissions. He had a really good submission against Malisik. I'm just gonna say Malisik. He was losing the first round and then submitted him in the second round, I believe. Ricardo Ramos, he has really good takedowns, but he just leaves his neck out, and he's been submitted the past 2 fights by Charles Jourdain and Erosa by the same way, by guillotine. Probably Dustin Poirier would love to fight Ricardo Ramos if he could make the weight, or if he moved up. But Ricardo Ramos, I feel like can get the takedowns, and that's how Josh Culibao lost his last fight, and against a lower level guy in Danny Silva. Even though he's like a up and coming guy, he's lower level. He outstruck Danny Silva, and I feel like he'll be able to outstrike Ricardo Ramos, but I think the takedowns are going to be there. Not crazy confident in it because he does get submitted and he leaves himself out there, but he has some good wins. That's how he wins, is by getting the takedowns. He's gotten wins against like Bill Algeo, which is a good win. I believe he's better than Culibao, but you can't really do MMA math. But I'd say Ramos is going to get the takedowns. He's going to be able to hold them, get control time, get some damage off, but I think that this fight's going to go to decision, so give me Ricardo Ramos by decision, low confidence. Next fight up, Junior Tafa versus Valter Walker. This is heavyweight. You can't trust either of these guys. Junior Tafa lost to De Lima, which is not a bad loss, but it was just by leg kicks, and he just got fucked up by them. And the loss against Usman, I feel like, is a bad loss, especially now, because Usman he's not even like in his last fight. Usman really disappointed against Peterson. Didn't even work in any takedowns. Didn't use his jab. I feel like the Usman loss is pretty bad. Tafa had his moments in there, but he just got taken down by Usman way too easy. And I feel like Walker is going to be able to do the same. Even though Walker has a horrendous gas tank, you can't trust him at all. In his last fight against Brzezicki, he got the takedowns pretty easily, and I feel like Brzezicki is probably better than Tafa. I think that he's just going to get the takedowns, hold them like he did against Brzezicki, and arguably he could have won against Brzezicki. So even though he has gas tank problems, he doesn't have like crazy damage. He's a bit of a fraud. 11 wins, and a lot of them by finish, but I honestly don't know if he can finish Tafa, just because he honestly didn't look that dangerous against Brzezicki. So I think that this fight, Tafa's going to be able to get taken down, but survive. So give me Walker by decision, low confidence. Heading into the main card, Jingliang Li versus Carlos Prates. I'm feeling pretty big on Prates just because he has the finishing power. He's probably one of the best knees in the game. His knees are nasty. He had a crazy knee against Charles Radke. Was really just super technical. The problem is there's a chance. There's definitely a way for Lee to win. Trevin Giles was finding so much success in the first round, and then he ended up getting KO'd. I feel like Prates he has straighter punches. He's more technical than Lee. Lee hasn't fought in almost 2 years. Daniel Rodriguez, I think that was a bullshit decision, but getting into a close fight with Rodriguez that doesn't have too much power, I don't feel like is the best. He has some good wins against Ponzinibbio and Salikov when Salikov was younger, and Salikov 2 years ago was pretty good. But I feel like Prates is a sharpshooter. He's a sniper. He's going to be able to find his shots eventually. Even if he's losing, he's always dangerous. He's always live. So, me, Prates by knockout in the first round. Medium confidence. Next up, some big boys. Tuivasa versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I think that Rozenstruik is probably just a cleaner striker. He's more calm. He's more technical. Tuivasa has really powerful kicks. He throws pretty much with everything. Rozenstruik has the power, and Tuivasa has the power. Tuivasa has been getting knocked out and submitted his last 4 losses, but they're not the worst of losses. Gone is not a bad loss. Pavlovich, top guy. Volkov, top guy. Tibura, not the worst of losses, but is definitely a step down from his 3 other losses. Rozenstruik, Gazayev. Honestly, he probably should have actually finished. He kind of just gave up. Gazayev kind of just gave up, and that's why it's retirement. But I'd say his losses aren't that bad either. The fact that he can go to decision wins or decision losses against fighters like Gon that are really technical, I think that he can hang in there. This fight isn't like for sure gonna go finish. I think that Rozenstruik can be more safe and pick his shots, and that's why I'm gonna be picking him. Tuivasa just is a little bit too he's too unreliable, and I feel like Rozenstruik will stick to the game plan. So even if he ends up not doing the best, I feel like he'll be able to pull away. He has a better gas tank. He can pull up more numbers. So give me Rozenstruik by knockout in the 2nd round. Low confidence. Next fight up, Mateusz Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. Honestly, I'd say as boring as he is, Gamrot is my most confident pick on the card just because he's a consistent wrestler that will chain wrestle, keep going for the takedowns, and Dan Hooker can get taken down. He is tough. He will be able to survive a lot of damage or submission attempts, but I feel like Gamrot will be able to just take him down every single round and decision him. He is a decision bird. He is a gamer apparently, but I'd say Gamrot, he has the takedowns. His striking isn't like abysmal, but he gets dropped a lot. That's the only like thing that's like a asterisk on him, is that he can get dropped by Hooker. Hooker isn't known as some crazy powerful guy, but Gamrot might be chinny, but he honestly survives every single time he gets cracked and he wins that fight. So I'd say Gamrot is gonna just cruise by a decision here. I'm going to be picking Gamrot by decision, medium, high confidence. Heading into the co-main event, France versus Steve Erceg. Honestly, I think that this fight is a lot closer than people are saying. 85% of people are picking Erceg. I'd say that Erceg, he's really clean. His striking is really there, and he's not even a striker. His ground game is really good. I think that France has takedowns, but he probably won't be able to keep down Erceg and hold him down. So it's probably whether Erceg can take down France. But I feel like that this fight is going to be a standing matchup. France is really fast, and I feel like he's going to be putting some issues for Erceg. France, he finds a way to win a lot of the time. His only real losses, he lost to Albazi, but that was some crazy bullshit split decision. His only losses are against Brendan Rival and Brendan Moreno twice. Steve Erceg can obviously catch him just because he is so much of a sharpshooter and a sniper, but I'd say that France, he's really fast. He is a vet. He's fought in the UFC a long time. He's faced everybody that's the top guy at 125. I'd say he's seen it all. Erceg is new in the game. He has a crazy win against not crazy win. He arguably won against Pantoja in a really close fight, and I feel like that's why he's getting so much big ups. But he had close fights against Costa, David Dvorak, closer fight. Matt Schnell, he knocked him out. He finally got his first knockout in the UFC, but he's only 4 fights in the UFC, so I feel like France obviously is a step down from Pantoja, but this is a 3-round fight. I feel like it's a lot easier to drop rounds, or just have 1 or 2 bad rounds or a close round. So I feel like if this fight was a 5-round fight, Erceg probably should be like a minus 230, but since it's a 3-rounder, France can easily take a round here. He's experienced. He knows how to win. He had a comeback win against Askarov, but I'd say that Erceg gets the win. He's more technical. Give me Erceg by decision, low confidence. Next up, The main event, Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya, has been brewing for 2 years. It's going to be an exciting fight. I think that you can't be crazy confident either way, but I'm going to be backing Adesanya. I feel like Adesanya is way more technical. Du Plessis is not that technical. He's a bit sloppy, but he is really tough. He has really good pressure. He'll keep moving forward, and his game plan to win fights is pretty good. Like the game plan that he had against Robert Whittaker, which is a really good win, which boosted him up. I honestly didn't see him doing that, and he did it. Du Plessis, he's really tough. He sticks to his game plan. He won against Sean Strickland, but that was a close fight. I thought he won that fight 3-2. He's undefeated in the UFC, but I feel like the sloppiness that he has on the feet, not like crazy technical takedowns. He is really big, so he can take down Adesanya, and Adesanya's takedown defense isn't horrendous, but he kind of has been known to get taken down by people that are bigger than him. Like Alex Pereira even got a takedown against him. Blachowicz took him down and held him down. I don't really see Du Plessis holding him down. I think that he can take him down. He probably will, but Adesanya, I think that he'll be able to keep his distance, avoid his shots, and honestly, when people kind of bum rush Adesanya, I feel like he ends up knocking them out. Du Plessis, if he doesn't come out a little bit calmer, if he tries to rush things or rush the takedown or trying to just get in his face to close the distance, I feel like he's going to find a lot of problems here. Adesanya, he'll be able to keep the distance, leg kick him up, demobilize him with the leg kicks, and end up finding maybe a head kick or a hook. I think that Adesanya is a way more technical striker. He's miles better than him on the feet. It's whether or not Adesanya is the same guy he was, because the Sean Strickland fight, he kind of just got his whole game plan just changed when he just couldn't find any success against Strickland. Strickland walked him down, but held his defense really well, and I think that that's why he ended up winning that fight. And Adesanya couldn't really see any options for him to find counter shots. But Du Plessis, I don't think he has the same defensive capabilities as Sean Strickland. I think that he's going to be a little bit more reckless. He's going to put more into his shots when Sean Strickland is more of a stalker and he'll just throw pitter-patter shots. Adesanya is going to be able to find his shots, and I think that he catches everybody kind of early. He knocked down Whittaker twice, once in the first round, once in the second round in the first fight. Then he ended up knocking him down, I think, in the second round of the second fight. He knocked out Paulo Costa. He's knocking out a lot of these people that are just like bringing it to him and not like being really calm with it. So I believe that Adesanya is just going to be able to find that shot. I think he's a lot better than him on the feet. I think Du Plessis is going to be reckless. He's going to end up getting caught, and I think it's early. I think Adesanya knocks him out in the first round. It might be a bold pick. A lot of people are thinking it's going to go decision, and a lot of people are thinking Du Plessis is that guy. He's tough enough. He'll be able to eat anything Adesanya throws, but I don't see it. I see Adesanya hurting him on the feet, and Du Plessis getting knocked out in the first round. So give me Adesanya by knockout in the first round, low-medium confidence. Will be able to get takedowns. It's whether or not he's going to be able to hold him down enough. Culibao is immune to getting taken down. In his last fight, the same thing happened. He won on the feet, got taken down, got grinded down, got taken down 4 times, held down for a while, lost the fight. And I feel like Ramos has the same game plan. That's how he wins his fights. His last wins against Danny Chavez, he knocked him out. He had takedowns in that fight. Bill Algeo is a good win. He took him down a bunch of times, held him down. That's how he ends up winning his fights. So I believe that he's going to be able to get the takedowns and hold him down for a decision victory. That's going to be my UFC 305 Du Plessis vs. Adesanya breakdown. Thanks for watching. Let's make some money.